Hey, yo, welcome to episode 2 of the Effin Football Podcast. I'm your host, Rory JC, with my valuable co-host, Dolla, Welty. I'll let your boys. Really, we're out here to talk football. That's what we do on the podcast. You guys got to say for the intro.
Hey man, welcome back. Episode number 2.
Version 2.
Oh, are you a virgin?
The adult version.
And he's a born again virgin. He's dating my sister now, so that's outside of podcast talk, but
It feels like the first time.
yeah, like those guys. This guy's gonna be in all white tux when they get married, hopefully. Weird intro, but hey, I'll let your boy. What are we gonna talk about this week's podcast? We're talking about the top 5 quarterbacks in the draft. But first of all, we're gonna hit you with some new news.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. So what's the most breaking news?
We got Dez Bryant just got released by the Cowboys. You know, he's been there for many years. He was kind of the face of the franchise there for a minute. Now he's gone. What do you guys got to say about it?
Oof, man. Ty, you go first, man, because I gotta collect my thoughts.
I love Dez Bryant, but I think it was time for him to go. It was a smart move by the Cowboys. I know they wanted to keep him. He's part of your franchise. He's one of the best players to ever play for you, but he's just not getting it done on the field anymore. And you got to let him go. And he's getting paid too high of a cap hit. So he has to be at some other team's problem now. It's a smart move by the Cowboys.
Yeah, I didn't write the numbers down, but I know they clears $8 million on their cap. He was owed like $12 million for the season, and he said one of the best players. He's no Michael Irvin. I'm a big Dez Bryant fan. He's one of those guys who just learns too late in life. Like, now I'm going to put in the dedication. Now I'm going to work hard, get a receivers coach. You don't have any separation. You can't separate from fucking cornerbacks anymore. All this extra effort later in your career. I don't know. Too little, too late. Where do you guys think he lands?
That's the 2 questions is, who are the Cowboys going to be thrown to? Who they're going to replace him with? You got to get somebody, right? I mean, who are you scared of when you face the Cowboys, a receiver? I mean, not really Dez before, but definitely not anybody now. And then, where do you think he's going to go? Maybe 49ers. That was the first thing that I thought of.
That would be interesting. That's a good. I didn't even think of that. That's a really good.
You can imagine him and Richard Sherman together in practice every day.
Oh man,
ooh,
that's some swagger in the locker room.
I'm just saying, mic them up every week. I'm telling you. Maybe they get an HBO show together. That would be fun to watch. People would definitely tune in for that.
It sounded like you had a secondary possible destination.
Well, I would actually have thought the Raiders if they didn't sign Jordy Nelson. I was wondering if they would have thought, like, hey.
If the timeline worked out, I would not mind to have him on the roster.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work now, but.
I would think maybe Miami, they just lost Jarvis Landry and try to replace him with somebody with a decent name,
Man, those are good landing spots.
They're just wild guesses just from needs and, who you think would sign these guys.
So. I was scratching my head thinking, like, where is he going to go? And, like, the destinations you just laid out were just proper.
Anybody else got any other ideas?
What do you think?
There's a rumor that he wanted to stay in the NFC East.
It's not a rumor; it's a statement.
He said kind of like Richard Sherman wanting to stay in the NFC West.
He said in this exit interview, like he said, "You'll see me twice a year." So apparently, like his motivation is to stay in the NFC East.
Yep. Haloti Ngata was trying to court him, come to the Eagles, as if they don't have an embarrassment of riches.
That's the first thing I thought when they said NFC East, when Dez said NFC East.
Eagles.
The Eagles, oh my God.
Do a reverse Terrell Owens, a reverse,
throw that guy on the Eagles, the Eagles are already a fucking juggernaut. If you could fit him in the cap, do they have the cap space? I don't know.
tell you.
I'm not
The
a
Eagles will not
capologist.
sign him because they're not going to mess with a locker room like that. It's a big personality with a knee that's not really a need. I'd say Redskins if he's going to stay in the NFC East.
I disagree, man. There's enough big personalities in the Eagles locker room to keep Dez. Like Dez, I think is a really good based on like reading his interview today and reading interviews in the past. Like he's never been a troublemaker. He hasn't gotten in trouble since he's been in the NFL. Yeah, I think he gets a tough shake for just like I feel
Being
like
a passionate player.
Yeah, being a swaggy black receiver, like they get a like hard knock on him for some reason just for being swaggy and confident. Like I don't agree with that, and I think he would fit well with the Eagles if they could figure out the cap for that. Somebody said the Browns. I was like, they got the money. It doesn't make sense. They got receivers. Like who knows where he goes, but I like the Niners idea. Yeah.
I think that'd be fun. I think see what Jimmy G and Dez Bryant can do together.
What about this on the counterpart? What about the Seahawks? They could use a receiver.
Seahawks wouldn't be a bad call too. I mean, I don't know if he really fits in the offense. I know they like those really speedy guys, and that doesn't seem to be Dez anymore. I mean, but hey, you never know. Honestly, I mean, that'd be kind of fun. Richard Sherman, see what he's got together. Or who am I saying? Richard Sherman and Russell Wilson. I'm sorry. Brought to you by Coors Light.
Coors Light. By the way, the Effin Football Podcast, always sponsored by Coors Light, and we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Cheers to beers and cheers to Coors Light.
Can we move on from Dez Bryant?
We're gonna jump right into what the main topic of the podcast is, and we're gonna talk about the top 5 quarterbacks of the NFL draft, and we're gonna jump right in. By no order, we're gonna go through one by one, and we're going to start with Sam Darnold, the 6'3", 221-pound, 20-year-old coming out of the USC Pac-12. Let's hit it with some stats, man. This guy played in 27 career college games. He passed for a 64.9% completion percentage. Threw for 7,229 yards. 57 touchdowns, 22 interceptions. He's a California native. How do you guys feel about this individual?
Go ahead, Dolla.
I think he's just the safest pick. He has just natural athleticism and toughness. He's got a good arm, competitive, and I just feel like he can adapt to most offenses in the NFL. I don't think an offense has to be tailor-made around his skill set. I think he can probably adapt the best of any quarterback prospect in the draft.
Yeah, the guy is mobile. He's good in the pocket. I'm a little concerned that he took a dip at the end of last year at USC, but maybe he just had NFL on his mind. I mean, he's been working through that for his entire life. He was kind of born and bred to be an NFL player from the day he picked up a football. Everybody saw what was possible, and he's just ready to fulfill his potential. Sky's the limit for him. Honestly, he could be one of the greats.
I'll be straight up. I feel like he's the poor man's Andrew Luck, and if he stays healthy and is just a slight dip down from Andrew Luck, that would be amazing for whatever franchise that he lands on. Because right now the Colts are in huge trouble, not knowing what's going on with Luck's shoulder or whether or not he'll be back. That's a team that might need to be drafting a quarterback, to be honest. But Sam Darnold, he proved himself in college. It's the guy he did take a statistical breakdown, at the end of his last collegiate season. But overall, it's all about, the tail of the tape. Watch him on the field. How does he perform in big games? How does he operate with his teammates? That's one of those guys where you don't got to worry about the intangibles. He's going to be there for you. He's going to lead your team. And, that's what a quarterback's got to do. So whoever lands him, I know there's a debate at number 1 overall. Whoever lands Sam Darnold, in my personal opinion, I think you're landing a great quarterback who could potentially be your franchise quarterback. So let's go back down. We're going to roll down the list from Sam Darnold next to the next quarterback we're talking about, and Ty Dolla Sign's going to introduce him.
This is Josh Rosen, the quarterback for UCLA. He's 6'4", 226, 21 years old, junior quarterback. Had an injury-riddled sophomore season, but was a highly prolific quarterback coming out of high school, top-rated. Played 30 games through 60.9 completion percentage, 9,340 yards, 59 touchdowns, 26 interceptions. He's a very polished quarterback. He's probably the best pure pocket passing quarterback prospect in the draft. Got great feet, knows what to do with the ball, natural thrower. I think that he's very solid too. I have him right under Sam Darnold. I just think that he's not quite as mobile, not quite as athletic as Sam Darnold.
Right, don't give away your rankings so fast.
I'm just saying. I like him. I have him right there. To me, they're almost 1A and 1B, and I think that he's also a very safe option. He's very polished, as they say.
Now you can say about Josh Rosen is that he's just a really smart guy. Honestly, he's got the brain to handle the NFL offense, to be able to probably handle big games, and just be able to be there under pressure. Playing at the big school, he's always had the pressure on him. He always knows that he has to perform, and he did. He showed up every game. He's got the arm strength. He's got not a lot of mobility, but he's got enough to get away. And yeah, the guy's gonna be fun to watch. I guess what Jim Morris say that he questions his focus on football, but hey, he's a smart guy. He's thinking about things other than just a game. He's got the mind to play. That's what I got to say about Josh Rosen.
He's a millennial, bro.
Yeah, this guy is like he's like
too smart.
He's like he's the type of cat you're looking at that quarterback position. He's the type of cat who you got to worry about for only one reason, because you don't know where his focus is at. And I saw some lines from an interview that he did with, I think it was with Sports Illustrated, where he's talking about, like, at one moment he's talking about this, at one moment he's talking about that. He's like contradicting himself. He's like, I'm going to be a role model for the kids. Like, I'm sorry for approaching that former question by saying the F word. But then he goes on to answer the next question. And he says fuck like 3 times. And like, that's what I would do. I'm not knocking you, man. But like, it's like political affiliation. Is he a Trump guy? Yeah. Personally, I have a problem with that. I'll tell you that much.
He's not a Trump guy.
Is he not a
No,
Trump
he has
guy?
that famous picture of him with the fuck Trump hat on.
Oh, okay. So that's what it is. Fuck Trump. Okay.
So I like him.
Yeah, I like
He just
that.
rose like all the way to the number one pick.
I like that
Rory's,
aspect.
Did we just become best friends?
No, I didn't know I didn't read deep into it, because like I like to stick to the stats and what's going on with football. We like to make jokes and like talk about the drama of the whole game, but like, what is this guy about? Are you about football? Are you about politics? Are you about Instagram? Like Marquette King getting cut? You know what I'm saying? Are you a punter out here, like taking Instagram pics? You know what I mean? Like, what's their purpose? Like, there's no value. Gruden cut that guy quick.
Who was that quarterback of the Titans that got? He took a selfie in the locker room before his start, and then J.J. Watt sacks him, and then as his sack dance, he takes a selfie sacking.
Guy from LSU.
Yeah, what was his name? Oh, that's what you get when you take selfies in the NFL.
His name was generic, tall white quarterback.
Yeah,
his name is generic Rosen.
And it never was in the NFL.
No, I don't mean to hate him, Josh Rosen. I like the player based on the scouts and everything. Apparently, he's the most pro-ready. He's very efficient, high completion percentage. The thing that everybody worries about is where is his mental at? Is he ready to, like, when a young quarterback gets drafted, the amount of like responsibility that gets put on their shoulders is ridiculous, and what they're really looking for is who can shoulder this, take the team, put them on their back, and make the entire franchise successful. And literally GMs and coaches are putting their jobs on the line to pick these guys. And that's why I feel like Josh Rosen is like on the mock drafts. It's like he goes here or he goes here or he goes here. It's because like nobody knows, and that's they want that confidence level. But what I see in Josh Rosen, I think he's like an Aaron Rodgers type of guy with his mindset. Like, who wants the quarterback to be dumb? That's what I heard on a AM podcast on the AM radio the other day. I'm old school. Listen to AM Sports Talk Radio out here in San Diego. Yeah, 1360. You know what I mean? I'll tell you the station. And
shout out
to 1360. Shout out to local radio. I respect those guys, but
let's move on from Josh Rosen. We talked enough about this guy. All right, he's not dumb. I mean, his frame looks a little small.
I wasn't done with my statement.
Okay, shout out to local 1360.
No. I'm like, who wants a dumb quarterback? Like, who wants a quarterback who's not thinking and stuff? Like, is that what the goal is?
I didn't know.
That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about Josh Rosen. Is his mind here or there? Is he too smart for his own good? That's the thing about Josh Rosen. Is he? But who wants a dumb quarterback at the end of the day? If you want a smart quarterback, pick Josh Rosen because he's a smart guy. All right, let's move on. Yeah.
We're going on to Josh Allen. He's one of our favorites here. Being sarcastic. Quarterback from Wyoming, Mountain West Conference. He is 6'5", 233. He's only 21 years old. He's a junior. He had a 56.2 completions percentage.
That's bad. Pretty good.
5,066 yards in college, 44 touchdowns, 21 interceptions.
And that's in how many seasons?
Oh, I mean, he's a junior, so that's got to be 3 seasons right there. So
5,000 yards in 3 seasons.
Yeah, so
those are like my numbers when I play on All Madden.
For one game.
Yeah.
Anyways, the guy's got mobility and he's got a crazy big arm, and that is what NFL scouts love. Honestly, they just get drooly. They get a little blood rush to certain areas of their body when they see things like that. And there's a lot of rumors about Cleveland at number 1 wanting to take the guy. That's crazy, but who knows, man? Maybe they try to trade down. Maybe they get Saquon Barkley and wait and they grab him. But I like Josh Allen more than these guys do. I think the guy's going to play football. I think he's not going to be Carson Wentz, but he could be good, honestly. He's going to be a solid quarterback in this league. These guys, they're going to tell you why I'm wrong.
A career backup, Josh Allen. If the Cleveland Browns mess this pick up so bad and pick up Josh Allen, it's hard to say that, because I wasn't a big Carson Wentz believer coming out of the draft, but he came from a different conference. He put up huge numbers. Like, Josh Allen has played legitimate talent on defense. Put up extremely poor numbers. Like, I don't know. What do you take? Huge arm. Jamarcus Russell had a huge arm, and it ruined the franchise that I love to death for many years. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
he's one of my favorite players of all time, by the way. I love Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, we love him.
Yeah, honestly.
When
Chargers fans, we love him.
If the Browns take Josh Allen, it's basically saying, we traded the pick that was Carson Wentz, and we're trying to make up for it. How about you just go for the good quarterback and take Sam Darnold? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Sam Darnold's a Hall of Famer. I honestly don't believe that he is.
Chances are he won't be.
I think he's a starting quarterback in the NFL for 10 years.
Honestly,
you know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I believe. Take the guy who's going to, if you want to rebuild the franchise and make it happen, take the guy who's going to start and be there and play football. It's about football, and it's proven it statistically that he can do it, You
know who the Chargers' third-string backup is? Quarterback?
Geno Smith?
Or Cardale Jones?
Melvin Ingram. A linebacker. Because he can get on his knees and throw it 50 yards.
Nice.
It's not that special that Josh Allen can throw that far.
Yeah, it's not that special at all.
I will say
it's a nice circus trick.
You know the same person did that? Kyle Bowler did that too.
Jamarcus Russell.
Kyle Bowler got drafted by the Ravens for doing that.
Jamarcus Russell threw it 80 yards from his knees. 80 yards. It's not 50, it's 80.
He can do a whole lot more.
So Josh Allen can only do it.
He does a whole lot more from his knees.
Yeah, he's got to find a way to make money. Bam, bam, bam! That motherfucker better find a way to make money.
I got a soft spot
making it from the Raiders anymore.
Nobody cares about the Raiders. I got a soft spot for these small school quarterbacks. I think they get a bad rap because they just have really subpar talent around them. Josh Allen at the Senior Bowl made a statement. He says, I can play with the big boys. I can handle this higher level talent, and I can make the most of it. That's why I like him. I think the Senior Bowl is underrated when rating guys. I think it really shows what guys can do when they know NFL scouts are watching. They're playing against each other, against the top talent, and you really get the best out of the guys. The guys are focused and ready to play NFL, and he showed up. So I'm not saying he's the best, but he's better than what these guys think.
He's raw talent. He's raw talent, and what can you do with him? You know what I mean? But that's how everybody looks at Carson Wentz. So this is the big lottery ticket of the draft. Josh Allen. What's it going to be? I think he's the biggest question mark out of any of these quarterbacks.
I beg to differ.
Anyways. Yeah, well, you beg to differ. That's my opinion. So let's move down the list.
Baker Mayfield, guys.
I'm gonna introduce Baker Mayfield.
Tell me about Baker.
So he originally went to Texas Tech. What, got injured? What happened with that?
He was the starting quarterback. He was the first starting true freshman quarterback at Texas Tech. Started the first couple games, got hurt, but he was lighting it up when he was starting. He expected to play when he came back. But he lost his job essentially, and he said there was no communication between him and his coach at the time, so that rubbed him the wrong way, and he decided to transfer to another school, Oklahoma, in the same conference, and he just worked his way. He's kind of a self-made man,
and that's what I like about Baker Mayfield. And as I take a moment, I gotta say thank you, Coors Light, for sponsoring the podcast. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We need all pros, and we need all brews.
All pros.
But at Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield was fucking outstanding. And I like a guy, a self-made man, makes it happen himself. He's just going to... It reminds me a little bit of... like Cam Newton, having to sit behind Tim Tebow at Florida. He's like, fuck this. I'm not going to sit here behind Tim Tebow, this guy who will never be an NFL quarterback, and I'm going to be a future NFL MVP.
He also got arrested for stealing a laptop.
Yeah.
It wasn't totally his choice.
Yeah, also the laptop thing. But, back to Baker Mayfield. A lot of people try to say Johnny Manziel and make comparisons and stuff like this. I think Baker Mayfield is a much higher quality person. I know he's had his run-ins. There's the video of him running from the cops or whatever. It's like, I think it's young person stuff. He doesn't have the same sort of... I don't think he's an alcoholic like Johnny Manziel, a drug addict or whatever you would call that guy.
He's just a fuck boy.
I wouldn't even call him a fuck boy.
Yeah, honestly, he's a young guy that needed time to grow up a little longer than the other guys did. But honestly, his football skills, I think, really speak for themselves. I think he has grown up. I think it just took him a year or two longer. The guy, he's super accurate. That's one thing you could say about him. He puts the ball on the money. But even his drop percentage is crazy high, considering how high his completion percentage is, 71%. That's fucking nuts. Some people could say it's because of the system. I don't think so. I don't think that you have 71% and 8% drops just because of a system. I think that you can play quarterback. And we'll see where he lands. I honestly think maybe we're not supposed to go there yet, but the Broncos at number 5 are probably drooling to see that guy fall there.
Statistically, he's the best quarterback over the last 2
on stats
seasons,
alone.
Period. Like, no doubt about it, statistically.
He does get that short guy complex, too.
People say
Everybody
Russell
just kinda
Wilson, but
short.
he's fucking 6'1". He's
I know
not
that-
5'11".
I know
He's not
thinking,
Russell Wilson.
He's super happy that Russell Wilson exists because that makes his draft stock go up. It's like,
Dude,
oh, maybe a short guy can make this happen.
He's 6'1". At the combine, he's 2 inches taller than Russell Wilson. He's not.
He doesn't
Russell
have the
Wilson.
mobility of Russell Wilson, though. So
I don't know. He's pretty mobile.
Not,
You know,
dude, you go watch some Russell Wilson.
Just because Russell Wilson plays baseball, like
Russell Wilson runs for
that
his
is the
life
least
every
athletic
play.
sport.
Russell Wilson has made some of the most awesome scrambles the last 10 years of any quarterback you've ever watched.
He runs for his life every play.
I'll give you an effing comment. Baseball is the least athletic sport that exists.
Cool, that has nothing to do with this. Whatever.
Just because Rory doesn't like baseball is why he doesn't like Russell Wilson.
No, I liked him out of the draft. Even when him and Luck and RG3 were coming out, I said Russell Wilson would be the best quarterback of that draft, and he is.
Good thing you got it on tape, man.
Yeah,
I never got it on tape, but just take me.
I'm sure he said Russell Wilson is going to be way better than Andrew Luck that year. I'm sure that's what Rory was
that
thinking.
tweet.
Yeah, I did. Well, I don't tweet, man.
Oh, no.
We just started the Effin Football tweets. By the way, follow us on Twitter at Effin Football.
All you twits.
All
right,
You fucking Twitter eggs.
Anyways, we're going to move on. Baker Mayfield's over.
Baker Mayfield won the Heisman Trophy last year, by the way.
Who won the Heisman Trophy this year?
This year. I mean, who won it the year before is what you're saying. Because Baker Mayfield is the current Heisman Trophy winner. And who won it before him? Welty?
Lamar Jackson. 6'3", 200 pounds, 21 years old, junior. He's played 3 seasons. He's got 38 games under his belt, 57% completion percentage, 9,000 yards. Oh, that's less than Josh Wilson. He's got 69 touchdowns.
Josh Wilson.
Oh, shit. Josh Allen.
Is that the fourth Wilson brother?
You know, this is the guy that
Yeah.
Like, what does he have here?
Well, he's got 69 touchdowns, 27 interceptions.
Compared to some of these other quarterbacks, like they say he's not a quarterback, pretty good stats.
Well, I mean, he's got the same completion percentage essentially as Josh Allen does. He's got a little more touchdowns, and this guy's got crazy mobility. This guy's got Michael Vick mobility, which obviously just makes everybody's dreams just go wild. But what you could do with a guy like that? He's got awesome arm strength. He's definitely going to be a wild card.
Playmaker.
If you can get the most out of Lamar Jackson, you are going to change football.
Playmaker. I know that Ty Dolla has a fun fact that he just wants to come out right now.
I'm ready.
Yeah, Dollar is ready to come out on the
what's the fun fact?
I've been practicing my edging. Anyways, Lamar Jackson has more rushing yards and rushing touchdowns than the player that's considered to be the best in the draft, Saquon Barkley, over their 3 years in college as a quarterback.
What's that number?
He got 4,132 yards and 50 touchdowns. That's insane.
A lot of people say Saquon Barkley is the #1 player in the draft, and this cat, Lamar Jackson, everybody discounts like he can't even play quarterback. We switch him to receiver or whatever. I guess this would benefit their argument about like that he had better stats than like the top running back.
He came out of the combine. He said he's not running, which says I'm a quarterback. That's what I'm going to be.
Fuck that.
And he's probably going to run faster than everybody anyways. And everybody probably knows it anyways too. So they don't even need the numbers to know that he's that fast.
He's not Terrell Pryor, bro. This is a different guy.
Terrell Pryor's a not very good wide receiver, actually. So I'm glad he's not Terrell Pryor.
It wasn't last year, the year before.
He got exposed last year.
He had a good season. Terrell Pryor was like a flash in the pan
maybe it was
for a wide receiver.
Man.
They didn't play him.
Well, you know, if you, I know you have a soft spot because he was a Raider, and you're just like, oh yeah, he like.
I do have a soft spot. One time. Yeah, we did draft him. Like, you know, I know it depends on situation, and that's what would depend for Lamar Jackson on his success as an NFL quarterback. It depends where he lands.
Everything depends on where he lands.
Well, with him especially, like
the whole organization, whatever team drafts him, the whole organization has to be 100% all in on him, and they have to build everything around his skill set. But if it works out, he could be something we've never seen before.
They say the scramble skills are like Michael Vick, and his numbers are better than Saquon Barkley, and the potential is there. But this, Josh Allen is the biggest wild card, but I think Lamar Jackson actually might be the biggest wild card.
I would say he's the biggest. I don't think Josh Allen.
I think Josh Allen's like a scratcher, while like Lamar Jackson is the mega million.
It's the mega million. Yeah, you might win $1 million, or you might have like spent some money and lost it.
The thing is, you get Lamar Jackson, you want to like let him sit for like a year, maybe 2 years. But then you see him in preseason, he's going to be running around making crazy plays, and everybody from the top of the organization down is going to be looking at that coach like, put the dude in. And he's probably going to see the field earlier than he should. And what's he going to do with that opportunity? That's really what it's going to come down to. What's he going to do when the time comes and the ball's in his hands? Is he going to turn the ball over? Is he going to be accurate? Is he just going to run around and get himself hurt? Or is he going to stand in the pocket and make throws and run when he needs to?
I'll say this much. His forehead is weird.
He has a strange forehead.
He kind of looks like Jimmy Butler.
I like that. I like that in somebody who's like is not the prettiest human being.
He's got that Ambula Abungada.
Like the people who like they work harder. You know what I mean? That's what I believe in. Is working hard.
I like his dedication to quarterback.
I'm not saying he's not a pretty person or whatever, but like it's all about working hard at the end of the day, and that's what I want in my quarterback. And we're going to move on to rank them, but before we do, these guys are going to talk about the Brandon Cooks trade. Well, I take a Coors Light sponsored pee break. Thank you to Coors Light. We appreciate you guys. I'll be back.
So, yeah, Brandon Cooks got traded from the New England Patriots to the LA Rams. Gave up a couple draft picks to get him. I think it's a good move for the Rams. I think he fits in better than the guy they lost, Sammy Watkins. This guy's a really good route runner. You go over the middle. He's got pretty reliable hands, quick cutter. I think he's going to be really good for Jared Goff's development. And they just keep adding weapons, and they're really going in all in this year. It's really exciting.
Brandon Cooks, you think about him, he's got speed. Dude just runs fast. He can make people just lose their ankles. It's kind of awesome, honestly. I think the only thing that really scares me is why has he been traded around so much? Honestly, the guy, he's like a first-round pick. He's with the Saints, and they get rid of him, go to the Patriots, and they want to get rid of him. Like, something might be a little off. It just seems a little suspicious. People don't tend to just get rid of talent that easily. And on a rookie contract, no less, that seems really weird. But the Rams all in, trying to get that Super Bowl, trying to set a statement going to that stadium in Los Angeles. And they got the names on that team to really possibly do things. On paper, obviously probably the most talented team in the NFL on paper. But I'm not a fan. I just think you're mortgaging the future. They've already done enough of that this offseason. And you know what? They're good now, and then by the time they get in that stadium, they've kind of lost a lot of their future. What's the point? You want a losing team when you go to that stadium, or do you want a winning team? You got to be able to be good while you're opening that up, because I think that's going to make a big deal on trying to win this LA thing. So I would think they definitely have the lead, but you don't know. LA hasn't really decided, I don't think, fully who they like. And Rory's Idiocracy is brought to you by Coors Light.
The rest of Coors Light just had to pull me away and say, "Hey, you need to come back to the podcast with the fresh Coors Light.
Drop it.
You need to drop it into." I don't know what these guys said about it.
Drop it in the bread basket.
What do you think about Brandon Cooks' trade to the Rams?
I think it's a better deal than going for Odell. Odell, way too much money, way too much draft capital to trade. They got a great deal on a deep threat who's better than Sammy Watkins, period. And, I think Brandon Cooks is a really good receiver. Did great for Drew Brees. his season, like, I feel like it was underrated with Tom Brady. And, now he goes over to Los Angeles, and I think they got a good deep threat for a fair price, and the Patriots, they look smart because they traded like a first round draft pick for him and then traded like another first round draft pick back. They just traded spots in the draft, basically. It's a good deal for both teams. The Patriots are always worried about the cap. Bill Belichick that hates his players and doesn't like to pay them any money. Like, I don't know. I saw this interview with Danny Amendola today, and it's just trashing him, man. Like, the guy does not like to pay his players, but he, when you're there, they respect what he's doing. Makes you a better player. He's like, we don't like practicing in the snow, but it makes us better football players.
Yeah.
So, that's real ass shit. You know what I'm saying?
Eventually it wears on you.
Wears on you. Plus, he doesn't pay his players and he moves them as assets. But that's what a GM's got to do. And Bill
whole
Belichick
business
is basically the GM, and you got to move your assets around properly to succeed as a business in any business. Period. So. But I would give the Brandon Cooks deal fucking thumbs up, straight up.
Thumbs up.
I think it's a great deal. Helps the Rams a lot. The Rams could also sign Dez Bryant.
Oh man.
Yeah, fuck. Those guys are going for everybody.
Oh man.
Ndamukong Suh,
they went after my dog.
They signed Ted.
They signed Ted.
Ted Dolla sign. They signed Ty Dolla sign and Ted Dolla. I just wait.
Package deal.
Hold on. I gotta call them too.
Oh, is that the Rams? Is
hello,
that the Rams?
Hello, the Rams. Yes, I will take the contract offer.
Oh wow.
Oh, 1 year, $5 million. Perfect. Yeah, those are my numbers. Great, I'll take it. I just got signed by the Rams.
Wow.
So they're doing the best that they everything. They're signing everybody.
You got to get to OTAs, man.
Yeah, I know. I gotta leave now. I gotta go pack my bags. We'll finish the podcast first.
Oh shoot! That? And Ty Welty, he just came back in the form of a dog.
Welty, it's good to see you. What do you think, Welty, about all the moves the Rams have been doing?
Rough, scruff.
What do you think, Welty?
Bork.
Ty. Come on, man.
You're not.
All right. This is Teddy. Teddy is the unofficial mascot of the Effin
He's
Football
the
Podcast.
official mascot of the Effin Football
Little
Podcast.
pup.
Give him a little bit of love to the Rory JC over here.
Put a little love
Anyways,
in your
what about the
heart.
Patriots, though? The Patriots, they trade Jimmy G, they trade the Brandon Cooks. I feel like they are rebuilding while having a Super Bowl team. It's incredible.
They're not rebuilding. They're always reloading. And Belichick's such a good coach that he'll just work with whatever. I feel like he's like your PE teacher in 6th grade. And that motherfucker will just work your ass out. You know what I mean?
That defense was shit last year, and he did the best he could with it.
He'll just make it happen.
Yeah. Well, they almost won the Super Bowl, so that was not bad for a crap defense. Anyways, what do you guys rank these quarterbacks? What do you guys think?
The top 10 ranking? Top 5 ranking?
Top five.
Yeah, I'll take it first. I'm going to go first.
Oh, yeah? Are you?
Yeah.
Are you? Why do you want to go first?
I want to go first for a reason.
Because he's going to say that Baker Mayfield is the top on his list. I'm going to say that because he's going to be the most successful NFL quarterback out of all these guys. He's going to be the next Drew Brees. He's got attitude. He loves to play. The guy's got accuracy. All awesome things you want in a quarterback. And it was, Rory, I'll let you have the rest. Just go ahead.
This guy doesn't even know. They didn't even read the stats. I'm the only guy who pulls up stats for this fucking podcast. And he was by far, he threw for 6,000 more yards than any of these other quarterbacks. His completion percentage is ridiculously better. The fact that this guy wants to say oh, that's my number one. No, that's my number one.
It's my number one. It's mine. Roy JC copied me. He read my notes and he's like, "Oh man, that's solid. I didn't think of that."
Baker Mayfield.
Whatever. We'll see.
Baker Mayfield will fall through the draft, and like wherever he lands at, like they're getting the greatest gift. Yeah, it reminds me of Derek Carr, like falling to the second
Raiders
round to my franchise. It's biased. Everybody thinks about David Carr. Well, with this guy, everybody thinks about Johnny Manziel. They'd like to make this connection.
But Baker Mayfield doesn't wear eyeliner.
Neither did Johnny Manziel. Baker Mayfield also doesn't go out to Kagers and try to impress like stupid college chicks when he's so fucking like amazing. Like
I think he does.
Actually, he's probably a virgin, to be honest. He doesn't seem like a guy that likes chicks.
Baker's had some minor like issues, but it's not Johnny stuff. And he's getting the Johnny Manziel treatment. Any other draft, this guy could be like pictured as number 1 overall. Like all the analysts would be like, "Oh, Baker Mayfield, he's amazing." Whoever fucking gets Baker, like they're getting the steal of the quarterback pick right here. I'll tell you that much. So my number 1, Baker Mayfield. I'll tell you that was fucking straight up that's an effing podcast number 1. Number 2, Sam Darnold, the steady Eddie, man.
Hey, let $sign give his number 1.
No, we were going through our top 5s each.
Oh, you want to do that? Fine. All right, go through your top 5.
I thought that's how you were doing it.
Is that how you do it?
Yeah, like it just makes sense.
Go ahead.
Number 2, Sam Darnold. Steady player, great player. I think he has the potential to be like an extremely great player, and his floor would be somebody who can play for your franchise for several seasons and bridge to the next quarterback, worst case scenario. Josh Allen is my number 3. I like the fact that the guy's smart. You know, everybody seems to hate that for some reason.
Josh Rosen.
Josh Rosen. My bad.
Fuck these Joshes.
Yeah, I'm getting confused. Thank you, Ty.
Fuck these parents for naming their kid Josh.
Josh Rosen, like Josh Allen, he's actually my number 5. I'll tell you that right now. Number 3 is Josh Rosen, UCLA. Smart guy, smart quarterback, California kid. I think if he lands in the right position, that guy, you know, everybody says the most pro-ready quarterback. That means a lot, man. That means a lot. Number 4, you know, I'll go with Lamar Jackson because I think he's the funnest lottery ticket you can have in this particular draft. You know, if you're putting up more rushing stats than Saquon Barkley, and you're out there throwing better than, I think he's highly underrated. Saints would be a great matchup for that guy.
He doesn't make it that far.
And then, Josh Allen. I'll put Josh Allen at my number 5. I just don't believe. I think that everybody's kind of caught up in this Carson Wentz kick. I think that everybody's taking the Carson Wentz pill. Let me clear my throat.
With a cold Coors Light.
Yeah. Oh my God. Now I realize I'm sober. Oh, he's not Carson Wentz. He's not. I'll place him on my number 5 out of the top 5. And whoever wants to go next, go.
I'm gonna say Sam Darnold, number 1. I think that his QB comparison is Andrew Luck. He already said it. Poor man's Andrew Luck. I think he could be pretty close with his size and his athleticism. I think his ceiling or his floor could be Jay Cutler. I feel like he has poor footwork. Sometimes he throws off his back foot, doesn't set up his feet. And I think that contributed to a lot of his interceptions he threw this last season. And I think his movie quarterback comparison is a mix of young Cap Rooney from Any Given Sunday.
Cap Rooney.
Mixed with Shane Falco from The Replacement.
It is Shane Falco.
Okay. The dude can take a hit. He probably already...
Wait, out of the bong?
Out of the bong and on the field. And I think he's probably already starting to take painkillers, like Cap Rooney. His head was spinning. He can't see straight.
As long as he's not Todd Marinovich and taking...
Marinovich.
Taking hits out of the meth pipe.
The meth pipe?
If he's just hitting the ball, I'm cool with him.
Yeah.
Outside of that, like,
Aren't we all?
yeah, aren't we all?
Number 2, I'm gonna go with Josh Rosen. I think his QB comparison is Jared Goff based on his frame. He's got good, solid footwork, natural thrower of the football. His floor also Jay Cutler, but this is based on his poor personality, his perceived
Also
poor
Jay
personality that could possibly sink an NFL franchise and the locker room. But we'll wait and see. I think his movie quarterback comparison is John Moxon from Varsity Blues. Say he's too smart for his own good. He's going to Brown. He's reading Kurt Vonnegut while he's supposed to be reading the playbook. That's what I think.
Yeah, I'm feeling like with Josh Allen.
Josh Rosen.
Josh Rosen. God, man.
Coors Light.
In my Coors Light. Thank
Coors
you,
Light,
Coors Light.
man.
We appreciate the
Thank you so much.
sponsorship. Like, I think Matt Ryan's ceiling.
Hey,
All right.
that's a good one.
Yeah, I think that's
Where do we
who-
got that from?
That's who. Is that from you?
Yeah, thank you. That was
Yeah, wow.
Thank you.
somebody's reading somebody's notes over here. That's all I
Yeah,
gotta
his
say about that.
upside down notes.
He's screen watching.
These are
Screen
upside,
watching.
They're upside down.
Because I'm trying to make sure he doesn't read them.
Yeah, I'm not trying to take this guy's notes, but like he's an obvious comparison. Like his real ceiling, I feel like it's Matt Ryan, but like a lot of people say Aaron Rodgers. I don't think that he has a ceiling of Aaron Rodgers. I think he has a ceiling of Matt Ryan. I think he has a floor of some cat who could play fucking backup quarterback in the league for 10, fucking 12, 13 years. That would be my floor.
My number 3 is gonna be Baker Mayfield. I think
Baker.
Baker?
Baker.
Baker's dozen.
A Baker's dozen.
What is it?
He's hitting the bong. He's a baker.
Oh, he's a baker. He's a baker.
I think his upside, he could be a combination of Drew Brees and Russell Wilson, based on their size and their athletic traits. I think he has a better arm than most people give him credit for.
Agreed.
He's very good running, throwing on the run, mobile. Not as mobile as Russell Wilson, but has good feet and good pocket presence. I think, obviously, his floor, everyone's saying it could be Johnny Manziel, where his off-the-field problems and his swag just gets in the way of him becoming a responsible, productive NFL quarterback. I don't think that's going to happen, but that is in play. And I think his movie QB comparison is Paul Crewe, played by Adam Sandler, and Burt Reynolds in The Longest Yard. And
Longest
The Longest
Yard.
remake.
Longest yard.
Longest Yard.
Yeah.
He reminds me of Paul Crewe. He's got a lot of swag, got in some trouble out the field.
Plus, he's got the longest dick in the draft.
That's what they say. That's what they say.
Rory would know.
Yeah,
Rory
that's
would.
what I heard.
Undercover
this guy told
reporter
me.
right here.
This guy told
Undercover
me.
reporter.
This guy told me
He's under the covers
Welty
reporting
assured
about
me.
Baker
Welty-
Mayfield's
before the podcast
long
started.
yard.
You don't need to wear a cup with something like that.
Before the guy, you definitely do.
No.
The dick.
I never did.
Oh.
Hey.
All right, what's your fifth quarterback, obviously?
Fifth quarterback is going to be, or my fourth quarterback, Lamar Jackson. I'm going to compare him to a Marcus Mariota.
He is Mariota-like.
He is Mariota-like. They have the same kind of size. They had a lot of production in college. Both won the Heisman. Mobile quarterbacks. This guy's another level of mobility, though.
I think he's underrated.
Who is?
Lamar
Mariota?
Jackson.
Lamar Jackson?
Both of them.
Yeah.
I think they're both underrated.
Look, he's got all the talent in the world, but he's going to need a lot of help to get where he wants to go in the NFL. If a team wants to take a chance on him, they have to be all in. And I think his floor could be RG3. I mean, RG3 had that amazing rookie season where everything was tailored around him, and he did great. And then they tried to make him a pocket quarterback, and that wasn't his skill set. And then everything fell apart, and he had injuries, and everything just kind of dissolved.
Yeah.
That's in play for Lamar Jackson.
Definitely.
If the right system isn't put in place for him.
For sure.
And his movie quarterback comparison, Willie Beeman.
Why? Because he's black?
Yeah, that's the only reason. That is the only reason he's got.
Why?
I'm actually going to say because he has a similar
I
story.
almost want Olivia to come talk about this.
He has a similar backstory to Lamar Jackson. In the movie, Any Given Sunday, he came out of college as a quarterback, but they wanted to make him a cornerback.
A cornerback?
Cornerback.
Defensive back?
Defensive back.
So you wanted to put him in the corner in the back of the room back here?
Yeah, that's what that means, right?
Yeah.
That's how much Rory knows about football.
Shit.
Oh, man.
That's messed up.
F&A.
Why would you pay him that much money? I'm sorry. Keep
Because
going,
he's
Dolla.
black.
Keep going, Dolla.
But he didn't want to do it. He stuck to his guns as a quarterback, bounced around a lot of teams, finally got his shot, and is just a playmaker on the field. And some of the same things are happening to Lamar Jackson, where they want to make him a wide receiver, but he is not going to budge. He's going to go all in as a quarterback. I like his confidence, and I think that he can be a really special player if everything goes right. And then number 5, I guess I'll do Josh Allen. If I have to, I'm gonna say
Everybody here.
I'm gonna say his ceiling is Brock Osweiler.
So sad. So sad. I'm sorry, Josh Allen.
The ceiling. The ceiling.
You have a chance to prove him wrong. You have a
the
chance.
ceiling is Brock up.
But you know what?
Wow. Yeah, like
Brock Osweiler.
Oh,
he
man.
played in.
that's funny.
He's getting them checks, man. You know,
Yeah.
teams keep paying that guy. So
yeah.
that's a pretty good ceiling to
You know,
have.
it reminds me of the backup quarterback. He used to be on the Saints for a long time. What's his name?
Who is that?
Yeah, you have to be way more specific than that. Chase Daniels?
Chase Daniels, yeah. I read this article about him, how he's like played in the league for like 6 or 7 years, like attempted like less than like 20 or 30 balls.
Yeah, he plays great in
And
preseason,
he
man.
makes millions of dollars
Yeah.
every time. He's that just in case guy.
He's that dude.
It's just like just in case we need somebody. That's it. But he's never played. But he's made like $36 million in the league.
I'll take it, man.
You know, I'll take it. And I feel like that's the floor for a couple of these guys.
Yeah,
Josh
Chase
Allen,
Daniels
I think Chase Daniels is Josh Allen.
Chase Daniels is like the Sam Bradford of backup quarterbacks. Just put that.
Oh.
All right, I'm going to my top 5. All right,
Yeah.
the number 1
Boom,
quarterback in this draft will be Baker Mayfield.
Oh wow, hot take.
Yeah, I'm
Hot
letting you
take.
know. I
Hot
wonder.
take.
So you're saying he will go number 1?
No, I'm saying he
He
will
said-
end up being the number 1
No, he
quarterback
said
in this
he'll go-
league.
No, I see.
Oh, so you're
Yeah,
saying he
for
will
his
go-
success. I'm not saying he's drafted number 1. No,
No,
I'm
why
saying
would
he'll be
he
the
be?
most successful. I'm just saying
Oh,
because
hot
he-
take. I already said he'd be the most successful.
well, because you read my notes. Congratulations. That's plagiarism. Anyways, he gets 2 bad raps. One because of his attitude. One because he's 2 inches shorter than what most scouts want a minimum size quarterback to be.
No, he's not. You
Um,
don't know his height. He's 6'1" at the combine.
Yeah, 2 inches. They
that's
want
what I
6'3".
said. That's exactly what I said.
Well, Russell Wilson is 5'11".
Yeah, well, that's why he went in the second round.
Well, keep going, baby.
Thank you. Anyways, in the NFL, you need to be tough and you need to have accuracy. And Baker Mayfield exceeds incredibly well in those 2 categories. I said he's going to go to the Broncos. They're just sitting there waiting for him. He's going to drop to him. He's got a great franchise where John Elway is going to sit there and he's going to tailor this guy to be good. Comparison, I'm going to say his ceiling is Brett Favre. That is like the best Baker Mayfield could ever be.
Wow.
That could be-
I like it because the improvisation.
I'm just saying. Well, you guys are stealing all my stats, and so I steal my comparisons. I can come up on the fly.
I like that.
You know what? His floor.
You like that?
His floor is
Kirk Cousins.
just currently busted for using performance enhancing drugs. Is Mark Sanchez? That is. his
Oh,
floor.
wow.
He's probably going
Whoa.
to be in the league for a couple years, and maybe if he doesn't do well, he'll still have a starting job. He'll probably go up.
Could always be like
He'll be lingering around the league
Yeah.
for a little while. That's gonna be.
You know, I like the Brett
He's a
Favre.
linger.
Can I comment on it for a second?
I know.
The Brett Favre.
You like it.
I like it. I do like it.
Yeah.
You know? I don't like it because of like play style, but I like it because of like mentality.
Yeah, you're going to see that same energy that Brett Favre brought to the game with Baker Mayfield.
When Brett Favre came in, there wasn't no Twitter. There was no Instagram.
When Brett Favre came in, he was in the Falcons and he partied a bunch in Atlanta. They traded him. They traded him to the Packers in the middle of Wisconsin, Green Bay.
Can't do nothing. No party.
Yeah, and that was the best thing that could have ever happened to Brett Favre.
TJ Friday.
This guy has the biggest problem talking over people. This is his biggest problem, self-admitted. Let me do my top 5. All right, number 2 is going to be Sam Darnold. You know why you love Sam Darnold? Because he has the lowest floor. That's what makes you excited. Like, he's going to be safe. I feel like, he might not be the best, but he's not going to suck. He's going to do all right for me. But his floor, what could I say for his floor? Maybe you could say the Jay Cutler thing because of his footwork and whatnot.
Jay Cutler spent so long.
Well, you could say that could be his
I would say
floor.
Josh McCown.
Josh McCown? Josh McCown's been around for a little while.
I've never got to do it.
Would you say Jimmy Clausen? I could say
Jimmy.
That could be a floor.
I would say Brady Quinn maybe.
They're the same.
Okay.
People. They're the same person. What can be a ceiling? Andrew Luck. That's his ceiling. That's his comparison.
The poor man's Andrew Luck.
Well, that's as good as he could ever be in his life. If he did the best he ever possibly could, he would be Andrew Luck on Andrew Luck's worst day without a shoulder.
Andrew Luck can't even play right now.
Yeah, I know Brandon Luck can't play. Andrew Luck, but anyways.
Did I say Brandon?
Yeah, you did. Third quarterback, I love this guy. Lamar Jackson. This guy is the next Michael Vick. This guy's going to change the league. This guy stays healthy.
Is it because he's black?
You're right. You know what? I should say, who's white and mobile?
Franz Harkington.
There we go.
This guy's the next Franz Harkington. That's his ceiling.
Yeah. I'm sure he would.
Sammy Bob.
Lamar Jackson.
Sammy Bob.
Sammy Bob.
I'm comparing you to a guy named Fran. Okay, that's what you did, Lamar Jackson. Okay.
That's great.
What he reminds me of is, Randall Cunningham, man. That guy, was mobile.
He's not Randall Cunningham. I'm sorry, he is.
That's what he reminds me of.
I'll fucking shut that shit down right now. He is not Randall Cunningham.
Why are you gonna say that?
Randall Cunningham was one of my favorite quarterbacks growing up, and he is not Randall Cunningham.
Why not?
I'll tell you that much.
Why not? Why can't he be Randall Cunningham?
He doesn't have the length of Randall Cunningham. Cunningham was what, 6'5"? The guy was fucking giant.
Look it up.
And when he was fast, when he was pacing down the field, like he reinvented the quarterback position.
And that's what I'm saying Lamar Jackson can do.
For African American athletes.
Yeah, I know. He got a lot of hate.
He is not Randall Cunningham. Okay.
I'm not saying as like a cultural NFL changing moment. I'm saying as a player. As a player, that's what he reminds me of. Honestly, you gotta remember the days when he was on the Vikings throwing to Randy Moss. Those were some of the funnest games you ever watched. It was just
he's a cool player.
Randall Cunningham evolved.
He's more closer.
Just because
he's more closer to Michael Vick than Randall Cunningham. Okay.
You don't know that. You don't know that yet. You don't know that yet.
Well, you don't watch college tape. I do.
No, you don't. Admittedly.
I do. Go look at my history on my phone.
I don't want to see all the porn that you watch. Anyways,
I do it in private. I do it in private windows.
Yeah, but this guy's floor. This guy could have the lowest floor out of all these guys. I think if anybody could do nothing, if he could be one of those running quarterbacks that never learns how to throw the ball in the pocket, I'm thinking like who we could compare him to that just could run and that's about
Terrell
it.
Pryor.
Yeah, you could say Terrell Pryor. I don't see him going back to wide receiver though. Lamar Jackson seems pretty intent on just staying as a quarterback.
Matt Jones. Matt Jones. He was a quarterback, right?
You'd say
there's been a ton of quarterbacks who come in and play wide receiver. Worst case scenario, if he wants to play in the NFL, he'll play a different position and they'll find a spot on the team. But this guy does not value that guy that highly, apparently.
You honestly don't think he could be Randall Cunningham. But
yeah, definitely not.
Why not? He is this
Randall Cunningham was a great quarterback. He was athletic, but a great quarterback also.
And I say Lamar Jackson is going to be a great
I'm not going to let
quarterback.
I'm not going to let Randall's name get trashed like this. Okay.
Oh man.
Wow. Okay.
It sounds like you don't value Lamar Jackson.
I do value him to a Michael Vick level, but he's not Randall Cunningham. Okay.
Okay. Well,
we got a lot of disagreement on this.
Apparently.
Ty, how do you feel? How do you feel? Chime in here.
I like Lamar Jackson. Like I've been saying it the whole time. The whole franchise has to be.
But you ranked him 5 out of everybody.
No, I didn't. He's my 4. Josh Allen is he's 100.
Yeah.
In my mind. But I guess we got to talk about him.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Rosen, he's going to be my number 4. It said you know he's going to be a good pocket passer. The guy's got a smart mind. But I don't know. For some reason, I just have my doubts about this guy. I feel like he's going to go to the wrong team. He's not going to be as focused. I just feel like he's going to be in a bad situation, and he's never really going to be in love with playing football. He's going to get drafted by one of these early teams that just don't take care of him. You know, I don't think the Giants are interested in him. I don't think he's going there. I know Dolla thinks that's a great fit, but I don't know. He's going to be an okay quarterback. I think he'll be fine, but he's not going to be, I don't think, worth a top 5 pick at the end of the day. Comparisons, I would say, that is what I think of Jay Cutler mostly when I think of just what Josh Rosen probably
just not invested.
Yeah, I just think he's just not going to be there like you think he would be.
And that's the biggest fear.
Yeah, and that's the right team can make a lot out of Josh Rosen. The right team could turn him into somebody that's going to make the Pro Bowl for a couple years. He's some guy that's going to get you into the playoffs. But I don't think he's going to be somebody. I don't think he's going to the right team. I just don't see it happening. I don't know what team he's going to go to, but I just feel he's going to go maybe to, I don't know, some team, the Cardinals maybe, if they try to trade up.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think they might try to do it, but we'll see.
I feel bad now because I talked shit about the your evaluation of Lamar Jackson, but you put him at number 3 in your list ahead of Josh Rosen.
I did. I honestly think that Lamar Jackson has so many tools, and that the team is most likely going to sit him for a year, and he's going to have time to refine his game. And when he comes in the league, it's going to be fireworks.
I think he's going to be good.
Yeah, so do I. I'm excited to see him play.
I like your bold move of putting Josh Rosen at 4. I like the bold move.
Yeah. I mean, what's the ceiling you can be for him? I mean, Matt Ryan obviously is what you think would be the ceiling.
That's what I think he could be. Where's his mind's at?
We don't know. It depends what team he goes to. If he gets the right coach, if he gets consistency with his coaches, you know, a lot of these guys, they go to a team with one coach, the next year the coach is fired, and they get another coach, and then they switch offensive coordinators, and in the first 4 seasons, they have 4 different offenses to learn, and I just have a feeling that's what's going to happen to Josh Rosen.
He got drafted by Tampa Bay.
He
got drafted by Atlanta.
Atlanta.
I was thinking about Warren Sapp, how much he hates Warren Sapp. That's what I was thinking in my head. That's what I said.
Anyways,
he got traded.
It's the best thing in his life.
Yeah, best thing that could ever happen to him. Circumstance.
Yeah, he went to the middle of nowhere and he learned to play football. Anyways, number 5, we're going to Josh Allen. I mean, yeah, I'm sorry, Josh.
Everybody hates Josh Allen here at the Effin Football Podcast. We don't hate you as a person, Josh Allen, but continue. We love you, man. But
you know what your ceiling could be? Your ceiling could be John Elway. That could be you. That could be you one day.
I'll agree. The guy's got the cannon arm.
Oh my God.
He's got the cannon arm.
Yeah, quit hating.
I want to give this guy, if he ever stumbles upon this podcast. Yeah. Cannon arm.
I could be John Elway. You know?
No.
I could fuck up my teeth and just walk around like.
You could never ever sell a used car. You couldn't sell one.
Anyone can be John Elway.
Okay.
Jesus, man.
He just said, I can fuck up my teeth and walk around like I didn't want to say the word.
I could do it all.
Josh Allen, I want you to do well. I want you to come in this league and light it up. I want you to be the next Carson Wentz, and so I can come back and show these guys this footage of like, all right, these guys are foolish. And every time that they think they know football, I'm just going to cough. Josh Allen.
Number 5 ranked, like the rest of us. And so he'll have so much ground to talk to us. Saying that I ranked him the same as you guys.
Remember when we had the same ranking? Bitches.
You're saying ranking in comparison. I'm not saying ranking overall. Anyways.
Team, like, let's jump. Like, fuck you, Josh Allen. We fucking hate you.
I don't hate.
Why were you? I think your parents were Nazis.
Nazis?
Nazis.
Oh, wow.
Burning Jews. Like, that's why I don't.
I just got the soft spot. I got a soft spot for those small schools, man. Go make Wyoming proud. You'd be the shining star of that state.
That was a dumb joke, but I feel like that's how much we're hating on Josh Allen right now. Like, I mean, man, the guy's a good guy. I'm sure he's a good dude. Like, I'm sure he's grown up with a great family, and he might have great success in the NFL. He's got a great arm, but probably not.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's could be Brock Osweiler. He could happen, but I think
That was his ceiling.
my ceiling, I know. That was his ceiling.
No, was that your ceiling?
That was my ceiling.
Yeah.
I don't hate Josh Allen. I think like I just hate how the NFL just falls for this every year. It's some guy with a huge arm. He's tall. He's big.
Yeah, we saw his quarterback size.
He's saying all the right things.
Yeah,
you know?
Huge.
Huge.
And
They fall for it every time.
they just fall for it every time.
The same mistake they always make. They just go for the huge ones.
It pisses me off too. He's got a great policy for the government. Got a great arm. Very impressive. Collegiate stats. Very impressive individual.
They're not even that impressive.
They're terrible.
That's the thing.
Well, that's what Donald Trump would say. It's like they're still good despite the fact they're not. So, but let's go team fits.
Team
Dude,
fits.
We got a little bit more time. You can see on the time we're almost done with the podcast, but we have one more section. Team fits for the top quarterbacks, and let's not like go draft ranking, but like who is the best fit for each quarterback? Like where do they fit in best? And let's go quarterback by quarterback. All right.
I'll go by teams that actually have a chance of drafting these guys, not just throughout the whole league, because
For sure.
everybody would just say the Patriots every time.
For sure.
Oh, I thought we would go one by one.
Well, all right.
You kick it off.
Darnold, the best case scenario, honestly, I want you to go with the Browns. You got the weapons. I think you can make it happen. Your legacy will be great if you are the quarterback that turns the Browns around and makes them relevant. And you were born and bred and raised to be a great NFL quarterback. Let that be your legacy. Come in the league. Make the Browns great again.
I hope the fucking Browns make the right choice and take Sam Darnold number 1 overall.
I think we're all gonna agree on that.
Oh goddamn! You get Saquon Barkley at 4. Like, oh my god!
Oh man,
that's a franchise changing draft. If you get Darnold and then Barkley at 4.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's going to change the game.
Yeah, all right.
All right, Josh Rosen. I'm going to say the Giants. You could sit there. You could learn from Eli Manning. You maybe even replace him by the end of the year. They obviously seem okay with benching him. And then, yeah, I mean, you could be the king of New York. I think you could be focused. I think that city will put the pressure on you that you need to be in that room, studying football, learning the game, and having Eli teach you how to play it. I think that'd be a great place for you.
I think it's too much, man. I think you don't want Rosen in New York.
He played in L.A.
Yeah, you want him in Denver with John Elway. I think the dream scenario is the Broncos land Josh Rosen. And he's the type of California kid that he's just like John Elway. Man, big-headed guy, a ton of talent. He doesn't have the arm strength that Elway has. But he's got the mentality. And I think that's the dream scenario for that guy.
I think if he went to the Giants, he would be surrounded by a very smart, stable franchise that wouldn't make any subtle moves to hinder his success. But the outside distractions would be an X factor. New York is a huge city. Fans are relentless.
Instagram,
Twitter. But I think he's got a lot of solid veterans around him, with Eli Manning being number 1.
And outside of that, who? How many solid veterans do they have at the Giants? Like who?
Yeah, I mean,
Odell Beckham? Like who?
Brandon
Who are the
Marshall.
veterans?
Brandon Marshall is going to teach you how to be a pro.
Brandon fucking Marshall.
He's not on their roster.
Did you get let go?
He's not on their roster.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Like
Okay, yeah, just Eli Manning then.
just like
That's all you got, Josh.
I think
That's
it's
all
a
you
poor
got.
fit. I think it's a poor
All
fit.
right, I'll go with the next Josh Allen. The best case scenario for you, which is, let's say a little ironic with $sign saying that his ceiling is Brock Osweiler, and I think his ceiling is John Elway. Boom, tied into the Broncos. That would be the best place for you.
Wow.
Your arm strength and the mile high with those wins and the wintertime they get. John Elway, he would be the best mentor to have for you. He would be a guy that would make you understand how to play football in this league, make you a true pro. And I think it'd be really inspiring to see in the office every day to know that that could be you, that you could be the next John Elway.
Oh, I'll go with the Browns just because this guy's best opportunity at success is to go number 1 overall and have that confidence and take it and build the motivation and be that number 1 quarterback who changes the entire franchise, because I don't believe in this guy at all. So like your best bet, man, is to be taken number 1 overall, change the worst franchise in the league, and make them a competitor. Get them to the playoffs, something like that. Just that would be a success. And I think I think the best fit for him is honestly the Browns. They have Tyrod Taylor. You can sit behind him, learn for a little minute. They're building the defense. They're making a lot of moves. And I think for that guy, his best success opportunity, his best fit for me is going to be a Brown and saying like, I'm not they rate me highly in the mock drafts, but I wasn't a great quarterback in college.
There's probably like 5x first round pick quarterbacks that are laughing at us. Like the Browns are the best fit for nobody. You go there to die. They were career-ruining franchise.
The reason I say best fit for him, because like the only way that I believe that this guy succeeds in the NFL is by taking his confidence to like 1,000,000% level.
I agree with that.
Yeah, and if you're gonna do it, you do it with the Browns. You go in there and like you transform the franchise, and I think that would be the best fit for him, because if he's gonna ever succeed, his best opportunity is to like take it on himself, put everything on his back. That's his best chance. It's not about support structure with that guy. Put everything on your back and make it happen yourself. And I think Josh Allen's best bet is to be taken number 1 overall by the Browns and go fucking turn that and Superman that shit and change that franchise.
He's also got Hugh Jackson as a head coach.
Great
quarterback specialist.
Great play caller. Great play caller.
I would say the Broncos, but I don't think that they're great at grooming quarterbacks. I mean, they've had Trevor Siemian, Paxton Lynch, guys like that, Brock Osweiler, that haven't been very impressive coming up through their franchise.
Not a good fit.
Not a good fit. This guy needs all the grooming in the world. And, the Browns, they aren't the best either, but they have more talent around him. I don't think he's worthy of the number 1 pick, but if he had to go somewhere, I think that could be the best place for him to be successful. If it's going to happen anywhere, I think number 1 to the Browns. That would be his best spot.
Boom. I agree.
I'm going to Baker Mayfield. I just want to see this happen.
Oh, man.
I want to see Baker Mayfield as a New York Jet. That would be great.
Oh, man.
Honestly. Okay, I know. We're playing with dynamite right now when you think of that. But you think this guy could be a superstar in New York. This guy could transcend the NFL in a way where he's bringing the biggest market into just a grand stage with his awesome attitude, the way he plays the game. People love to watch him play. They've already got a good defense there. I think that coach would be great for him. He's really going to toughen him up. Jets were really, really, just under touted at the beginning of last season. They came out and they won more games than anybody thought they could. You had a good quarterback on there and maybe another wide receiver somewhere along the way. I think that'd be fun to watch. New York Jets, Baker Mayfield, you made that trade. Go get him.
I've heard of Broadway Joe, but Broadway Baker doesn't sound good to me. Man.
Oh,
I'll tell you my ideal fit, and it would take a trade. It would take a big trade to make it happen. But I'm ideally Baker Mayfield becomes a New Orleans Saint.
Oh wow!
Sean Payton's offense, and he becomes Drew Brees 2.0. Like I think.
So you're saying he's got to fall a little bit, and then the Saints make a decision to trade up.
He had to fall down. The Saints got to move up. They got to meet in the middle.
I don't think Baker falls past the Broncos at 5. There needs to be a trade to make. I'm saying ideal fit.
Okay,
that's what we're like. If there's a team who needs a quarterback, Drew Brees is amazing, but they need a future game plan.
Yep.
And that's one of those teams that we're watching to trade up. And the ideal scenario for Baker Mayfield, for both the franchise and the player, would be for him to land there. And how do you get him? You know what I mean? At that point, it's how do you get him? Do you trade with the Broncos? Do you move up? Do you trade with the Giants? That's your future. I think Baker Mayfield, me and Welty, obviously, as much as he hates me, you can tell by his face. We agree. I think this guy is the best quarterback in the draft, in my opinion. Statistically, you just got to look at it. Heisman Trophy, oh, it's your boy, man. And I think if the Saints can somehow find a way to get this guy, they're setting themselves up for the future, man. Period. I think that's the best fit for that guy.
I think the best fit for Baker Mayfield is the LA Chargers.
That's a wish.
It's also a wish.
It's a wish.
But you know what? It's not as far-fetched as...
upon a star.
You wish upon a star.
It's not as far-fetched as you might think. People may love Baker Mayfield. He may not get out of the top 5. That's some people expect that. Might not get out of the top 10. But this is a guy that could fall. Teams could just be scared away from him. Maybe fall to 17 Chargers. Chargers maybe make a trade to move up a couple spots. This guy would stand behind another guy that's really fiery, and Phillip Rivers. Phillip is a pro. He would teach him the game. He's got a lot of talent around him with Keenan Allen, Melvin Gordon, great defense. That would be an awesome spot for Baker Mayfield.
I think the Chargers, if one of these guys falls to them, they take them.
They have to.
They would. But I don't think that's going to happen. But that being said, Lamar Jackson would be the best fit for the Chargers. Time to sit, time to learn how to be a pro. He would have that coach likes those running quarterbacks. All right, he loves having a strong running game, a guy that's mobile. I think having Keenan Allen there, he's going to have a solid Mike Williams there too. He's wide receivers ready to go.
Charger fans are fucking.
I think that would be magic if that happened. But the chance of that, I think, are pretty low. I think he's gone. I don't think the Cardinals would let him get past him. I don't see that happening. But yeah, what do you guys think?
Where I really think best team fit, I think, is the Saints for Mayfield. But we do think what I think really where he might land, Miami. I really think that he will be a Miami Dolphin. I think Baker Mayfield will be a Miami Dolphin with no guidance out there in Miami where everybody parties and stuff. It's going to ruin his career. That's what I think is going to happen. Baker Mayfield will be a Miami Dolphin, and he will never achieve the success that he could somewhere else.
It's too bad.
I'll tell you that much. And then, what are we done with the top? We're done with the top 5. Tell you that much. Ebra. Holla at your boy, Rory JC. We out here. We're doing podcasts. I'm not going to lie, guys. We tried to do this podcast last week. Somebody messed it up. Somebody didn't press record. I'm not quite sure who it was. I have no idea. Somebody also also organized the whole podcast, made it happen. I'll tell you what. Shout out to all our fans. Thank you so much for following us on Twitter at Effin Football. Find us on YouTube at Effin Football. And FNA. Fucking fuck you, Effin Ty $. And
All facts, no whack.
all facts, no whack.
Hey, tune in for next week. We're going to have NFL draft analysis too. So we'll give you a little mock draft, let you know where guys are going, and maybe give you some insights on players, things you didn't know about before. So tune in. Get ready.
We're also going to have special guest star Warren Sapp.
Yeah, Warren Sapp's gonna be here next week.
He's gonna
definitely,
And Warren G. And Warren G.
and Warren G.
And Warren Moon.
And I'm gonna have a warranty for any customer who's
I'm
not
also going to do a
satisfied.
live reading of War and Peace.
Hey.
and
tune in.
And tune in and holla at your boy. This is Rory JC. This is with Ty $, and Ty Welty. We're signing off from the Effin Football Podcast. Holla at your boy. 1.